for fast, cheap, and reliable Madden 21 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, Easy Mutt. Use code VENOM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's good guys, Venom Fire here back from the video, and today I'm bringing you guys Drini's Gun Bunch offense. I did a video like this on Decroft's U-Trips. You guys really liked it. You showed a ton of support on that video. Thank you for that. So I'm going to bring you guys another one. It's going to be Drini's Gun Bunch offense. He ran in the clubs. This is a really good offense. It has a lot of unique route combinations. Obviously, you know, all credit does go to Drini. You notice that I am using a face cam for this video. I try to use face cam as much as I can. If you're a recent subscriber, you probably don't know what I look like, but yeah, I used it a lot last year during the summer, and I really just use it when I have time. If I have to rush a video, I sometimes can't use it, but I'm going to try and use it more and more in the future. But yeah, we're in Gun Bunch today. We're going to be in the Seattle Seahawks offensive playbook. A couple of abilities you do want. You're going to want tight end apprentice and slot apprentice. We got Michael Thomas, and we have Darren Waller with tight end apprentice. Also, you do want backfield master. It's not something you necessarily need in his offense. He didn't use it a whole ton, but it helps with, you know, better catching. You also get those extra hot routes if you want to throw a little bit of your own twist on it. Really, he only used it for one play, so again, it's not necessarily a thing that you have to have, but I do recommend getting it. Also, Gunslinger, we're not using it today. We have Carr, but Gunslinger really does help in these passing offenses. So let's set our audibles here. We got mesh post, read option, clear out, SE out, and flood. These are going to be our main plays in our audibles. A couple of other plays we're going to run are tight end hook and bunch trail. Now, we do have a lot of setups. I'm going to try and get through these as quick as I can. So if you have to go back and watch it, definitely can do that. So we're going to start out with read option. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you are new. Leave a like if you enjoyed these videos, want more. Let me know whose scheme you want to see next or what type of an offense you want to see. Moving on. So we're going to be running these plays against cover 2, cover 3, and man coverage. But yeah, let's start out with the read option. So read option, it's a really good run. Obviously, it's going to help if you have a mobile QB. Carr does have pretty solid speed, I would say. He's not a burner, but in Ultimate Team, you can run this with a guy like Josh Allen or Dante Culpepper, have success. You don't necessarily need a Michael Vick or a Kyler Murray. Overall, I have had pretty good success with this run. And really, with the ground game and Gun Bunch, you got to establish it because it is, you know, such a big part of that offense. Just audibling around, it works better against certain formations, certain plays a little bit more than others. You see, we're kind of getting stonewalled right now. That might just be because of the, you know, Titans front. But overall, I have had pretty good success with it right there. You see, you're able to get that hole and take it to the house. So, also one thing I forgot to mention, we are in current gen right now. A lot of you guys are still running current gen, and this offense was run in current gen, so I decided to go with current gen for this video. This concept does work in next gen, so if you're running next gen, you still can run all these route combos and have success. I just know that majority of you guys are on current gen, so I decided to go to current gen for this video. But yeah, I've been running this in next gen and having success, so it's not necessarily limited to that. But yeah, going back to the read option. Just a very simple run. You see, now we're getting good blocks, so even if it doesn't work a couple of times for you in the beginning of the game, you got to stick with it, and you will eventually get that success. You will eventually get that big run. You see, even when we were getting stonewalled, we're picking up 5-10 yards of carry, and overall it's too good to abandon the run game. He actually ran it a ton in his game. You know, sometimes when you keep it with the QB, they'll get a weird block shed like that, especially in next gen. With next gen, keeping it with your QB is really not the best, so I don't recommend it too much, but you still can have success. You can still catch them off guard a little bit. So that's pretty much it for the read option. Let's move on to our next play, mesh post. Now we got two setups for the mesh post. Our first setup, what we're going to go ahead and do is just a pretty standard setup. There's going to be a little bit of a twist on it. And with that twist, it's going to be to put your tight end on out route. A lot of people keep this flat route. But what Drini does is he puts A on an out route. The reason for that is it's better against man coverage. Sometimes opponents mix between zone and man. You don't know which one they're running. This will help out. It's obviously still good against zone, but against man coverage, it's going to be just another outlet. Usually, they're never going to, use the tight end out route. So that's just the reasoning for that. With the rest of the route combo, you're going to put X on an out route and RB on a slant. Motion RB from right to left. Just like this. And again, this play is really good against man and zone. Obviously, you know, our first read is going to be that right side, seeing if Waller's a little bit open. We're seeing if it's man coverage. And usually you can tell if it's man coverage on that motion. So it's not going to be too big of a surprise for you. And let's actually switch to man coverage here. We'll just run again. Here's a look at the setup. RB on a slant, X on an out route, and A on an out route. We're going to motion Thomas over. And just take a look at Waller. He's going to get really good separation just on a stock out route. Now, I know he's manned up with a linebacker, but even if that was a safety, safeties can't press the tight end from that spot in any gun bunch formation. So he's going to get really good separation as long as his route running is decent, regardless of who you're using or who's defending him. So that's not really going to be an issue. Obviously, man coverage, the post route gets open, the slant route gets open, even more when it's motion snapped. But you see, here's Ruggs, lower overall route running receiver, getting separation. So pretty good play against both. Now, cover 3, your read is going to be Y right off the bat, and that's going to be the route that's probably usered. If not, you got this post route that's going to be open. But really, Kamara, this is the bread and butter of mesh post. Low ball, that wheel route. Definitely the best play against cover 3. One more time. Let's double to a cover 3 again. And motion him across. Here we're going to throw it to B probably. And yes, B's wide open. Possession catch in the middle of the field, and you are good to go. So that's it for the first setup. Again, I'm going to start moving through these a little bit quicker. We already are pretty far in the video, but we got another setup out of mesh post. Now, this is a setup you can actually run out of any play because we're going to put every single receiver on a hot route. So first things first, put A on a corner route, put RB on a post route, and B on a flat. So this is just base what it looks like. Also, put X on a smoke screen and Y on an option. So this is a play you ran in the red zone. You're going to motion Thomas over. His post route's going to flip. And here's the look at the setup. Pretty base. You got a lot of underneath routes, but it's going to spread out the defense heavy. Just open up a ton of things. Derek Carr with an inaccurate pass, but that corner route low ball's our first read. High-low on that right side. Again, B on a flat, A on a corner route, RB on a post, and then Y on an option, X on a smoke screen. I think the post route does a really good job of getting over the top here with that option route. And you will see you can actually low ball it in pretty much any time. It's not the best to have a post running with a corner out, kind of on that same side, but you still can have success with it. I'll just show it a couple more times here. Again, A on a corner, B on a flat, RB on a post, Y on an option, X on a smoke screen. Really, Y and X are a couple of last second resorts. This play's not going to be too good against man coverage because of how many flat routes you have. But you see Waller able to get open there. The flat route gets open late in the play. The smoke screen gets open late in the play. And sometimes Kamara and Thomas will be open on that. I'll show it one more time. Again, this is a lot of hot routes, so you might want to practice your hot routes if you're not too good at that. But here, Thomas, again, he's going to be open. So that's pretty much it for mesh post. Again, that isn't even really a mesh post setup because we're just changing everything, but yeah, pretty good play out of that. Let's move on to Flood here. Now with Flood, he really didn't run it a whole lot, I will say, but it is still pretty good. So, and the setup that he ran was block A, block Y, or not block Y, but Y on a wheel and just be on a flat. So it's going to look like this. Block your tight end, motion Ruggs out. This is really good against cover 3. That out route gets really open, gets in a really good spot because of the motion out flat route. Obviously, you did see the flat route wide open as well. So I'll just show it a couple more times. Again, this isn't a play that was ran too much by him, but overall it's still good enough to be talked about. We got an inaccurate pass there again, but you saw you can actually lowball it and get it open. X will be open sometimes also, but the other route that you want to focus on is going to be Y. Y is usually open on this wheel route. You see right there, just gets in a really good spot. You have backfield master, and you're going to catch that ball no matter what. So again, do recommend that ability. But yeah, it's pretty much it for Flood. Doesn't run it a whole ton. Let's move on to probably the main play, clear out, SE out. This play is really nice. Overall, has a lot of things that you can go with. Our first setup is going to be just a pretty quick snap setup. You're going to throw RB on a post route and A on an out route. Just going to look like this. You have your 2 streaks, and again, this is just a relatively stock setup. One that you just want to make 2 hot routes, snap the ball. Pretty quick setup. You can have A open right here. Should have lowballed that. But yeah, this is just a base setup. You kind of want to catch someone off guard. You know, he's in the middle of adjustments, A on an out route, RB on a post, and go. So overall, just a couple of routes you can do. It's not my favorite setup, I will say that. Running it online doesn't have too big of a success rate. If I were running it, I would probably do something with the running back, but again, it's not terrible. Again, just A on an out, RB on a post. Can quick snap, throw that out route. If you throw that out route enough, you might start using it, and then maybe you open up RB in the middle of the field or whatever. But yeah, let's move on to another setup. We got RB on a corner route, A on a post, and X on a drag. So it's going to look like this. I love this setup because it's actually going to be a cover 3 beater. So just running base stock cover 3, you see that it's going to be wide open for a touchdown. It was a bad pass lead by myself, I will say that, because the middle of the field actually opened up. So I'm going to set that up again really quickly against cover 3. A on a post route, RB on a corner route, and X on a drag. But yeah, so you see that outside third sometimes fall down, sometimes that middle third will actually fall down as well. Even throwing that late, you see we had so much space that it's still a touchdown. But yeah, that play is really good, even if it is cover 2 or whatever. A on a post, RB on a corner. You're just giving yourself a couple of high or low reads. You got A that's going to be open in that soft spot of the zone. The drag's going to pull down hook curl or vert hook zones and really open it up for you. So that's something that you can use a lot. Obviously, if you roll out, you can also throw this corner out sometimes if it were like a cover 2 defense. So here we're in cover 2. I can roll out and then I can throw RB over the top, or I can check down to my drag. Just gives you a lot of options. Again, pretty unique concept. Not a lot of people use rollout corners this year, so you can have decent success running it. Another variation to that is just to put A on a crosser. So I can throw A on a crosser, RB on a corner, and X on a drag. Even though Waller does run the shorter crosser route, it still can, get open against certain zones. Here I'm going to check down, but yeah, just give you guys a couple of options. We'll go into one more setup out of this play. It's going to be a max protect setup. So you're just going to max protect, and then you're just going to throw X on a drag and RB on a corner. Pretty base setup. You can, have little success with this, and again, if you do quick snap it, it's going to be difficult to defend. He's going to have to get his deep zone drops on the field if he's not even, and even if he's playing like, 20 yards or 15 yards, it might not be defended. So, especially with the rollout, and then you got your drag. So, just a couple of ideas there. Pretty solid plays. Again, these are pretty, standard setups. It's not meant to be super complicated, super diabolical. It's meant to be simple reads, simple completions. Dink and dunk down the field and go over the top when you can against cover 3, cover 2. So, again, that's it for our first 4 plays. We got two more setups. It's going to be out of tight end hook and bunch trail. So, we got some other passing plays here. Some more unique ones. They're not going to be in our audibles, but I'm just going to set them right here, tight end hook. And then we got bunch trail right here. So, we'll start out with tight end hook here. Tight end hook is really good because of that corner out. We're not really going to use that too much today, but it is pretty solid. The main setup that he runs is going to be RB on a crosser, B on a flat route, and then Y on an option. So it's going to look like this. A combo that does get open is this deep cross over the top of a smart routed out route, which we already have stock, so we just throw RB on a cross. We have a little hitch type combo here with the flat and almost a curl flat combo. Then we have Camara on a backside option. But overall, you see the crosser can get open sometimes. The mid-read does a good job of actually matching on there. But if it's like cover 3, you have a couple of things that could be open. So I'll set it up again. B on a flat, Y on an option, RB on a cross. Again, a pretty simple setup here. You see Waller's going to get wide open. So you're really in this offense, you have to make them respect the tight end. That's what you're doing. Really, you're making them man up the tight end or user him. You have to make him focus on the tight end a lot. And that's where this offense is pretty good at. So, again, here's our setup. Little bit cover 2 does a decent job at defending it stock. Most people will not run cover 2 stock. I'll tell you that much. And you'll find out next play with bunch trail why they won't run stock cover 2 on you. But if it's man coverage, the crosser is going to get open definitely. And then the rest of the routes can get open as well, meaning Waller and Camara. But you see that crosser does get open against man coverage, also cover 3. So, pretty good play. Now myself, what I like to do is I like to use this corner route. This corner route's very solid, specifically against man coverage. He didn't use that too much, but maybe I would go with a setup like this: A on an out route, Y on like an option, or even Y on like a Texas route. And then just keep B on his corner route and A on an out route. Again, this isn't a setup he ran, so I'm not going to really go over it, but this is a setup that I run and I have success with out of this offense. So yeah, that's pretty much it for tight end hook. He didn't run it a whole bunch. He did run that setup a lot, mix in a couple of things with it. But yeah, you can obviously have your own twist on this offense. Moving on, we got our last play, bunch trail. Now again, I mentioned this play is really good against cover 2. That's just simply because of this post route deep. It's going to split the cover 2 for a 1-play touchdown. The setup you want to go with it that he ran is A on a post and Y on a Texas route, and then B on a flat. So it's going to look like this. Gives you a lot of options. Really good against man coverage as well. But yeah, first read is going to be Y. If it's not manned up or if he doesn't have a zone or user it, it's going to be open. Again, Y on a Texas, A on a post, and B on a flat. Here, I'm going to throw X. Also, what I like doing is smart routing X, so make it a little bit shallower. You see here, I'm going to throw the post route, and it's going to be wide open down the middle of the field. Aguilar is not exactly the fastest receiver, and he's still able to split it, so take that as you want it. But yeah, it's just overall a pretty spread out play. It just gives you a lot of options. You're making him, double flat a lot on that left side, and that's where, you can sometimes get that post over the top. Now that cloud flat does actually follow pretty far over. If it is, cover 3, then you still will have your stuff open. But really, you're going to look to that right side a little bit more against cover 3. You can also motion Ruggs out. You see Michael Thomas able to get open, but you don't have to motion Ruggs out. You can just kind of get these adjustments off and snap it. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do for the video. There is a couple of other plays out of bunch that I'm not going to run. Mainly like inside cross, things like that, verticals. But yeah, I gave you guys a lot of setups. Overall, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below in the description. Follow me on Twitter. I tweet whenever I upload, and you can ask me questions there. But yeah, peace. I'm out of here.